The next part of the build is using the hub plates and making the hardware section. Take all your motor arms, which are complete with the motors, and start attaching them on the hub plates. To attach the motor arms permanently to the hub plate and the hardware section, apply some CA glue on the joints. Note, you should use minimum CA and do not overflow. After you are done joining the arms to the upper hub plate, take the other hub plate and start putting on the spacers with the screws. Apply some thread lock and add all the spacers. So the hardware section has to have 10 screws and 10 spacers here, and just start joining them together. Flip it over and start screwing in from the top side as well. Apply some CA glues to the joints and we are done on the hardware section. The next step is to start on the electronics using the 4 given 30 amp ESCs. Slide the ESC wires and start connecting them to the motors. Plug in the bullet connectors on the motor and the ESC. Then attach the ESC to the bottom surface of the hardware section and then zip tie them down. Now, using the given plastic hardware, the nylon screws, nuts and spacers, we will put in the KK 2.1 and the electronic power distribution board. Now you put in the power distribution board to the electronic section using the 4 nylon spacers. And attach the nylon nuts also. Now we'll take out the KK 2.1 board from its packaging and put it on the 4 nylon spacers. And attach the nylon screws provided with the nylon spacers. Taking M3x6 screws, screw down the top part of the hardware plate down to the bottom part. Place all the 6 provided bobbin screws to their positions and tighten them up with the given nuts using some thread lock on the bottom surface. Note, do not use thread lock on the top side of the bobbin screws. Do not over tighten the bobbin screws as it is made of rubber and it might break. Now we will solder the ESCs to the power distribution board, and to do that we will first protect the KK 2.1 board by its packaging. Flip the whole plate over and start put on the screws for the next level of the board. The electronics plate or the electronics section has 2 boards on them. First, which the lower board is the longer one which houses all the electronics, and the top board is the one which covers everything and where you can also put your battery or maybe your RX or your cameras. Now we will pre-tin all the wires from the ESC. Pre-tin all the ESC wires and start soldering them onto the PD board. For power input to the PD board and distribution to the ESCs, there is a given DINS connector and wires to install it with the PD board. Take the wires and solder them onto the DINS connector and use some shrink wrap to insulate the contacts. Now connect the power in cable with the DINS connector to the power distribution board. Now we'll fit the lower electronics plate on top of the hardware plate. Pass all the ESC wires through the hole given in the power distribution board. Attach the KK 2.1 again. Wire all the ESCs and also connect the connectors to your RX, which you can then strap on just behind the KK 2.1. And now we are ready with the electronics on the quad.